therefore responsible. The suggestion from what Mr. Katju is saying is that you've also got to look at our diplomacy that perhaps reacted too late. You've also got to, of course, look at the silence of the political class that now the government calls them fringe elements. Do you believe that's enough, calling these elements fringe, now doing this quiet backdoor negotiations? Will that be enough, given, as Mr. Katju is saying, the kind of interest, mutual interest that exists between the Gulf and India, between the Islamic world and India today? Or will this continue to haunt the relationship for a while?
Rajdeep, for the last 4 or 5 months, particularly since the UP election or just before that, you've had people openly ask for killing of Muslims, for taking armed action against them, for various kinds of things. So, there was a degree of discomfort, which your earlier speaker, earlier sympathizer of BJP said, discomfort was already there. There was only a spark that was needed. And I think what the fringe did was, when the fringe are urged on, and you use them, and you think it's helping you with your divisive politics, then the fringe goes overboard. They don't know any limit. The youngsters speak some English, but they don't understand religion or history or the sensitivities of the world. So they had it coming. As I said, you cannot put your domestic politics in one silo and keep doing what you want here, and you think you can present the statesman image abroad. You see, that barrier is gone. That's broken.
Right.
To repair it, I think the Prime Minister has to take charge. He has to shut down all these shops and all this rhetoric. And unless it's coming from him, we haven't heard from him. Whenever these things have come up, we've not heard him. He has to come out and put a stop to it. And I'm sure if he does, the countries will understand. They're looking for a signal from him.
Okay.
They are not going to buy this argument, this is BJP and it's not the government. Well, BJP is the government and he's the BJP as far as the world is concerned.
Okay, let me, those are very strong words. I think both of you are sending out as seasoned diplomats. Hopefully someone out there will listen. Mr. Katju, I just have 30 seconds. If you were to give one piece of advice, yes, therefore, to this government, what would it be, given how it's gone horribly wrong?
Look, there is a difference between Muslim minorities and when it comes to the Prophet. And therefore, I do think that the ruling dispensation needs to inform their spokespersons and members of their party about sensitivities of different religions, including Islam. Equally, I think as far as India is concerned and the wider world, there has to be a greater sensitivity about Indian, or what is now commonly called Indic religions, and our sensitivities. And that is why I'm suggesting a process of dialogue that is needed.
Okay.
Because after all, my last point, after all, there has been a movement in the UAE which has shown sagacity, something that was unbelievable. I served in the UAE between 79 and 82 last. 1979-82, and I could not imagine that there would come a time when the ruler of Abu Dhabi would give land for temples and gurudwaras, etc. But he has. So there has been a movement. That movement must be taken forward through a process of dialogue, and of course, comments on the Prophet or any other personality which is revered of any religion must stop in the daily crossfire that takes place on our television.
Let's leave it there. Vivek Katju, KC Singh, two very sensible voices from the world of diplomacy, sending out strong messages in a way without raising their voice, which is perhaps the way to do it. I appreciate you joining us. Hopefully someone out there is listening to you.